call the meeting to order.
Alright.
Raven Caldera's here.
Yep.
See you next time.
Yeah.
David Melville. Yours truly. Katie. Hello.
Just enjoy having an audience.
Yeah.
It's not exciting.
Paul Sweeney. Katie's here as our liaison for the Board of Select Board.
Oh, a liaison?
Yes, something that we never had before. We had one, I don't know who it was.
I don't know who it was before me.
No.
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Anyways,
We never had one before.
we
It's
did.
wonderful to have one now.
We did have some. So, everybody read the minutes or any questions? We're gonna approve September 9th.
September 9th and March 15th
2020.
and March 22nd
March 15th.
and then March 22nd.
Yeah, but they're different years.
Oh, we got one.
2020, 21, 21, yeah.
Wow. Well, we've fallen behind.
Yeah, I was at your last meeting, and that was like forever ago.
Not much has happened.
Yeah, I know. So like it's the life of the party here, you know?
Okay. So. So I guess we go to the March 22nd, 2021 meeting, where we
Mhm.
have,
Which was our last,
yes, because we had discussed,
it was just getting the materials for for all the chain for
Yeah.
Pine Grove. And
okay, so the chain was done. I'm donating everything else, because I didn't write others, now I don't know where those slips are anyway, so, so obviously they must have gotten paid.
yep. Or they'd be calling us.
Yeah, no, we had an account with, St. Pierre,
Mhm.
where I got the chain.
Yep.
The paint, I'm trying to remember where I got the paint. I may have to check into this.
How's it looking? Has anyone driven out?
Looks
driven out
good.
there? I mean,
Yeah, no,
okay.
it looks good. The guys like it with because the mowers will fit underneath the chain and they don't break, cause they're not plastic.
It's good.
So, we approved the minutes.
Okay.
Let's see, so Forest Hill Cemetery is the one I was talking about, with
Mhm.
the two damaged stones that are knocked over.
Yes.
Are they knocked over or are they broken?
No, they're not, they were pinned originally, they look like they were aluminum pins.
That's what
They're
they
not
used to do
spinning.
in the 50s.
Yeah, so
you
we're
know.
gonna have to slice those off and just set the stones back on. Now, I had mentioned to David to give us a price, because that's part of this, agenda, because we have other minutes where we said that you would honor your apprenticeship with all the other stones in the cemeteries of uprighting and whatnot.
Yep.
And, this being insurance claims, and
It's a paid thing. Yeah.
it's a payout thing, and it's, Family Monument said he doesn't know when he'd be able to squeeze that in, to do them himself. I mean, he gave me a price on the one down on Pine Grove, that still hasn't paid the town yet, so I'm gonna get on that. And did you write up a little?
I have not written up, I can write something up and email
Okay.
it to you.
Yep, okay, that would be good, because I can give that to Tony, and then Tony can get on the people, cause I've, got a fence price. Now I gotta swap. How do I do this? Yeah. Hey, works as fast as one in my home. Should've heard me giving the guy a resin tonight. Do you think you guys gonna speed these things up? Well, one of these things, that's why I'm here, because we're changing things. Going all digital. And your connections are analog. I didn't put them on, your guys did. Alright, not gonna be able to do it because it's on my phone and I didn't bring my phone. And that was the quote from Pat Gerard, so we can't vote on that, we can discuss it. It's gonna be posts with caps on it in chain, similar to what Pine Grove.
I agree.
Okay? So we can't vote to say, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do it,
Well, next time then.
so we'll have to schedule another meeting for that.
Okay.
And, yeah, there's no mouse in front on the table. It's not moving. So, that happened with the fellow that lives just up the road on Hale Road Cutoff.
Mm-hmm.
And his son, either the emergency brake didn't hold, he didn't have it on, but it was a standard transmission. And when they looked out, the truck was gone after he started. So thankfully it didn't do more damage. I know it scuffed a stone a little bit, but nothing snapped except for what
I'm
you
glad
saw.
it didn't hit anything living. Everything
Yeah.
else can be
Oh, it was-
repaired.
Yeah, yeah, so, okay, so, on the next thing would be to approve you. Make a motion to approve
I
David.
make a motion to
that
approve.
when it's an insurance claim,
Mm-hmm.
that
For
you,
you doing the
you give
work.
us the estimate, and then you'll be one, when you do the work, get reimbursed for it.
Okay.
Yes, I'll make a
Uh,
motion
that's
for
all-
this.
Yep, I second that,
All right.
cause that's over and above, you know, what the original thing did, it's insurance.
Yeah.
Alright, discussion of the fan chain, I just told you that.
Yep.
We'll have to wait on that. New
You
signs
gotta-
for the.
You gotta set a rate, you gotta set a rate
Oh,
or cost.
does that have
Because
to
you
go,
can't approve 'em.
do you know if that has to go hourly? I know he
Hourly.
did, I know,
Is it an
when Ryan
hourly?
was here, he made me change my veteran market stones to hourly.
Hourly, yes,
And it all comes out the same anyways. But-
yeah, but
So what would you charge hourly? Say if it's 4 hours minimum that it's gonna be up there, it's probably gonna be a little bit longer, I would think.
I would generally charge 50 an hour for skilled work.
So when you do your estimate, you'll have to add that in there at the hourly rate,
I can do
okay?
that.
And I approve, I would, put out the motion for the hourly rate.
stone writing,
Right, stone
This is
uprighting,
re-
stone uprighting.
yep.
This is repair as opposed to simply leveling
Yeah,
a stone that's set.
Yeah, repairs from damage from cars, cause a car ran into it. So and it's an insurance claim, so I don't know how we should designate
Yeah,
that.
stone uprighting,
Okay,
but this is specifically for the insurance claim work,
correct,
Yes.
2 of them.
all right.
We looked picked up, Marcia, so we looked at the sign. Lovewell, looks good.
Looks nice.
Yeah,
Yes.
doesn't have red letters. It was
Doesn't-
specified that they didn't want red letters.
No, I'm making them all the ones, I'm
So-
in the middle of Clark, I'm working on the Clark one.
Okay.
And, I'm making them all white with the border and dark green.
Letters.
Which I think
Yeah,
is
no, the
tasteful.
one that, the one that, I think it was Punton and made them. And he pasted on, or glued on the letters.
The letters were, yeah.
They were
Yeah,
red.
so I've done, evergreen.
Yeah.
And this, in Lovewell's, and except like the glyph is different, evergreen had has a little pine
Right.
needle glyph, and this one had little double hearts.
Hmm.
And but they look the same, and so
Yeah.
Clark is next, working on Clark.
So if they have dates on them, some of the older ones, I
Yeah,
think
Lovewell
Clark
didn't
have one.
it didn't have a date.
It fell off.
I'm sorry.
It fell out. I
it-
took a picture. I took a picture of all of them.
I could have put a date if it had the date, but the letters must have fallen off
Yeah.
ages ago.
I will, we
I don't
can take
recall
care
it.
of that.
I don't recall the date there.
Yeah, I thought it just said Lovewell Cemetery, but
Yeah.
maybe.
Thought there was a date.
Yeah.
I took pictures of them all, so if there was a date,
Yeah.
I have it.
Yeah.
We can do something with that, but.
And-
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure, Clark does.
Yeah, it does.
So, that evergreen, seems like haven't had any help from others, the town. Setting evergreen sign up. I'm wondering if we could all get together sometime, and I think we could
Yes.
dig it up and,
Yeah.
dig it a little deeper and put it in. Somebody tried to set it straight, and it sat there for a little while, but now it's up against the fence again.
I'm familiar with using a post hole digger.
Okay, yeah, so let's make a, can we do that over email when I have a calendar in front of me? Make an appointment for the three of us to get down there and do
Okay,
that?
well, we can do that by phone,
Okay.
just to,
I do not have my Google Calendar in front of me.
Yeah, right.
Which is, so
No,
it is dangerous for me to make any.
Yeah, well,
Any arrangements without that.
let's see. So you're working on the signs, you're down at doing
Working on
Clark.
Clark, and then we'll move to the next one. So we're working on that.
Okay, so we need to make a motion that, Jeff Hackler, we're supposed to do this every year, can receive funds
Yes,
from,
I second.
funeral homes.
yes. Mr. Hakala is great.
I would like to add onto that to make it okay, that his son Jake is now slowly in the process that we can, if he's,
Taking over the business?
well, not so much taking over the business, but he fills in when his father can't be there for whatever reason.
I'm sure it's Hakala Incorporated, you know?
So,
Mr.
we
Hackler
just-
does excellent work.
to
I'm
put
sure
it-
he would not send someone with his name
Oh,
to
no,
do
yeah.
shoddy
You're gonna
work.
say only funeral homes, or,
dealing with the burials, because there are private burials, I do have a couple coming up that there's no funeral home involved,
Yeah.
it's just the people.
Mhm.
So he can be our,
Referral?
let's see, he can be our representative to
Mhm.
accept monies for burials,
what about Jake?
and Jake too. Yes.
Jeff and Jake Hakala, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, now I gotta get music here. Alright, so we've had started a few funerals.
Mhm.
Had a fellow by the name of Mark Fiedler. That was buried April 24th of this year. I have, this may not be in the right order, this one should be in the right order. I have a Barbara Hubbard, she died over the winter. She's a cremation to go into Rural Glen, and I can't find a spot yet. So, that's through Miles Funeral Home, and they're gonna have to give me some help. Hopefully they have a deed, because I can't find it nobody on a map.
Mm.
Ask Sue.
She hasn't talked to her. I already tried. Sue was down there one day when I was setting up for Dennis's funeral.
You want me to call her? She'll talk to me.
Will she?
Yes, she will.
Oh, she just told me she doesn't talk to her sister. She says it's over there
Well, she
someplace.
doesn't have to talk to her anymore.
So, she gave, you know, her response was that she gave me all the stuff that she had. It's not her responsibility. I don't talk to my sister anyways.
Well, I know, but is she gonna talk to you and tell you where she's supposed to be buried?
No,
She won't tell you that?
no, she said over there someplace. They don't have a marking stone or anything else.
What about her daughters?
Yeah, there's 4 girls.
Yeah.
One of them should know.
Who, Sarah? I mean,
No, Mary's the
Nancy.
one on Main Street. She knows everything. She'll
oh, I
tell
don't
you.
know. What's her name? Her
Mar-
name is
um,
Mary.
What's her?
I think, Nancy. No, I think the one I
Mary-
know is Nancy. I wanna say is the, one of the there's
Well,
such a
Nancy is
huge
one,
family.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mary's the one on Main Street.
okay.
Is she a Hubbard still?
No, I can look it up,
Okay.
yeah.
I'll be more than happy. I'm not shy to call people.
Well, yeah, the other thing is Sue may not know, cause she did have some issues medically, so, which kinda affected her brain a little bit, so. She's doing well, but she might not actually know the answer
Ah,
due to memory issues.
Well, there's a whole section
Yeah,
Yeah,
because they're all related.
yeah,
yeah.
And,
Yeah.
but they never put a headstone in.
no.
So that's this whole
Which
area.
ones?
So I looked in that whole area on the map,
Yeah.
and plus all the cards that I have, and there's no, Barbara Hubbard is not listed. So,
Bobby,
hmm,
who would be under Robert?
Robert,
Yeah.
I don't know.
This Saturday, the church is having a little thing across the street, and usually
She-
the Hubbard girls are over there. When I say
Okay.
girls, they're older than I am, but, you know what I mean? But you know what I mean, the daughters.
Okay,
So Saturday morning, they're having, there's spring, plant sale and candy stuff and stuff like this over at the church right here in the hall.
I should stop by.
So-
Yeah, plant sale.
Robert was her husband,
Yeah,
so his last name is what?
Hubbard, his name is Hubbard.
I thought she was.
She was a Marian, she and Sue are Marians. But Sue married
okay,
Flagg and
okay,
Barbara married Hubbard.
Okay. So it could be under Moran, and they're all over the place. That's right. I've had that historical adventure with Sue over and over. Okay, so, so she's coming up in June. I have enough time to find out. I'm not worried about it. I have a David Saliga. His mom passed away, Evergreen Cemetery. And that's on the 23rd of June. See, like I said, the needs are not in order because I got this after. Alan Meeker passed away. Another one that kept telling me he was in Royal Glen. He's in Brookside. It's, the cremation, that's May 27th. To meet with, his sister.
I mean, we know the difference between those 3 cemeteries in a row, but a lot of people just think of them as one cemetery and they see one sign.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I remember, the only Meeker I could find and I knew about was because we had, the father passed away. Off the top of my head, I can't remember his name, but he's buried in Evergreen, and that's where his son is going. So, sometimes I remember where people are. Let's see. Of course, Dennis O'Donnell passed away.
Yeah,
Very
Bella was just at his
unexpectedly.
funeral.
Yeah.
She worked with him, so.
Yeah, so he's in a with the newest section of,
Evergreen?
no, this is an add-on and never got put on the map. That's in rural Glen.
Ah,
Down near the flagpole.
down near the flagpole.
So David Tatton's right near the flagpole, and then you follow that up toward
I remember
going
when
into
Dave
the center, and that's.
What day was that?
Dennis was the, Monday, 8th.
Yeah.
So, value papers. So where else do we have? We have. I have several people that have bought, we've already processed these. One is Joseph, they live down near you. You know Cheryl Paul? They live at 138.
138 further down.
Further down,
Yeah.
yeah, he told me he was almost there. Anyways, we sold, that's in Evergreen, 2 lots for them, that's paid for. I got more coming up with. In the midst of all this, I have to call Bonnie Cunningham, left this file after many weeks, that this is her letter to the town, to the Hubbardston Cemetery Commission, surrender of 2 cemetery plots in rural Glen. Her husband Richard was cremated and buried at the Veterans Cemetery in Winchton, and I will have my ashes placed in the, wherever he is, along with his. So we have no further need for the lots we purchased. Please sell the lots to others who can use them. The plot plan is attached, which she found it right after I told her, hey, listen, you'll never guess what I found. But this is her real one. Now, originally, how this came about was William Withicum, or Bill Withicum, who's was a former police officer in town. He does details now. He wanted to buy hers and others, but he got tired that she kept not finding her deed, and he got tired of pestering her. So she, in the meantime, had talked to Flo and Paul Percifer?
Pervier.
Pervier?
Pervier.
Okay, so I haven't gotten a hold of them yet. They were interested because she was gonna just sell her lots, and I said, you can't do that. We have
Okay,
to
that-
buy them back and then do it. So I'm pretty sure that will happen.
Okay, so someone can't just sell a lot to
No.
somebody else.
Well, we went through this before.
Mhm. Okay.
It's not real estate. So they have to sell them back to us, but we will not buy them back until we've got somebody that are interested in. So far, that's worked out.
What happens when people die and don't use their lot and?
They just stay vacant,
Okay.
that's it. We have a deed, hopefully we have the deeds somewhere along the line, but generally,
Can they like ever be sold or used again for
no.
anybody?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, it's illegal, they're
That's-
registered
that's-
with the town clerk, so.
That's annoying.
Yeah, not to get off subject, I remember,
And they don't get inherited.
Sue Brady has lots in Evergreen, and she told me she's not gonna get buried there, so don't let anybody tell you that I am, and they're her lots. Somebody's already buried there, and I don't remember who it is, it could be her parents. But she said, don't let anybody tell you, I'm not going there. Okay, so that was just to bring up Bonnie, we'll take care of that.
So do you wanna buy back the lots from Bonnie?
I wanna make sure that Flo and Paul are gonna buy it.
Oh, they want them, instead of
They-
Whitcomb's Pets.
Yeah, well, Whitcomb is buying 10 lots down there.
10 lots.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10. The
How
only one he
many-
won't be buying is next to,
How many people does he intend to bury?
well,
Is it just for the whole family?
we do not have a stipulation
Okay.
that, as long as it's done legally with the urns and everything else, just like a human. Wants them for various pets and other family members if they so desire to be buried there.
Okay.
He won't be burying a horse, any of his horses, he already told me that,
It'll be
because he can't
cremated.
get.
The pets will be cremated,
he-
right?
Yes, to be cremated burials, he's not sure, he may be a full burial, but he's not sure.
Okay.
He may be cremated, he may be full, he's not, he just wants it done so that he knows where he's going. This is the town he loves and wants to be with,
Sure.
so,
Is he gonna go there himself, or?
he's gonna be buried down there, and all his pets,
the same
dogs,
place?
yes, and his dogs will be buried around, and I said, it would be nice if you put up a headstone. You don't have to put all the dogs' names on them, but just so people know where you are, would be in order. That these are all yours, to have a lot, put a headstone right in the middle of them all, and
If he
this will
wants
be marked on the deed, so.
little, simple stone pet headstones, you can ask my wife, she dremels those. She did the, yeah, she'll do she does pet cemetery headstones,
Really?
little ones. Yeah,
That's interesting.
they're like this big.
Yeah, yeah.
With the name and the,
I should,
Got 4 of them in our back field. I just had to bury my dog last September, so. I should get a big one for her, but this was ours, but, anyway, if he wants a
Who
little.
provides
headstone-
these?
Hmm?
Bella.
Bella
Bella
does
Caldera,
them.
she will make.
Oh,
the-
Bella?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, she did the big fancy stone thing for the backhoe.
Yeah, Wainwright.
Wayne Roy. So, yeah, she does that. She does little pet
she
headstones.
did the one,
Yeah, the big fancy.
Malone Road,
Yeah,
the stone,
yeah, the big stone.
chiseled that out for,
The one with the little backhoe on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Wayne Roy thing, yeah.
oh, no kidding.
Yep, she does that. Just saying, if he wants pet headstones for reasonably cheap, that's doable.
Okay. Keep it in mind, just put my dog down
Okay,
yesterday.
So you're gonna reach out to
So
the
sorry.
couple who might want to pick up the Cunningham plots.
Okay,
And,
well, I do have a stone, we'll talk about it after.
okay,
I'll get it to you, see what Bella can do. To copy it, it's only a little family stone about this big, that got crushed.
Mm.
Then I had asked Family Monuments if they had anything similar to that, and he said, there's all kinds of magazines that have those kind of things on them, and you just have to find the right one. I don't have any, so. But now that you mention it, it sounds about, for all I know, maybe Bella did this one before for Salega.
I don't think so.
No, okay. Oh, there it goes.
You can ask her.
Come on. Why does it go to
Oops,
sleep?
battery?
No, it was plugged in before I took it. Well, this is gonna screw me up. Come on. No way it was the battery.
Depends
Probably
on
the
how
wrong
old
thought.
it is.
There you go. On and off. Good job.
And start again.
I don't like.
If it's not responding to the help, it's the battery's dead.
Come on.
Technology.
No, it came on and then because I hit the button again.
There you
There
go.
it is.
There we go.
Stop touching.
And I have several other people looking for, Where's my little, so here, I gotta meet people this week, do-do-do-do-do. Gary Fleming from town wants a plot for him and his wife. There will be cremations. Gotta meet him tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Think there's anybody else. The other one I gotta meet on Friday is for Mr. Meager. So that she can point out exactly. Oh, and there's Edward Prentice, Irene, Mary Alger Prentice. They wanna check out for a plot. I have to call them back. It was unclear who they were. There was 3 names, and I don't know who left me a message. I gotta call them. So things are moving along with, hopefully they'll slow down.
Yeah, lots
With
of
the burials.
Lots
Yeah.
of sales.
Yep. Oh, and I was given, this was a funny, not a funny one, there was was given a death certificate of this Harry Halfrey Jr. with all the dates, when he passed away and everything else, 2005, May 23rd. But nobody knew where he was buried. I found him.
You found him, where was he?
I found him. I wrote it on the thing, I didn't write it on, cause I was getting ready to call Craig Halfrey, who's a relative. Trying to find out, I remember, I think I found a deed of his property, so I'm assuming he was buried there. But we put that to rest before Kristen left, as of the town clerk. I said, see, did your last good deed for the cemetery. We left no stones unturned for you. So, I think there's only one more thing. This is why I don't like being on camera.
Probably no one will ever watch it.
I've only watched when somebody has sent me a text or an email and said, you gotta watch this.
Yeah. Our meetings are generally
Go about a half an hour into the
Not-
meeting.
that interesting. I mean, except us.
Nothing left. Come on.
There's nobody yells, nobody
Anymore.
anymore. Okay, it must have been before my
Well, I
time.
heard that there was a recent one, that
Yeah,
there
it's
was
gone.
a lot of stuff going on.
Somehow I prefer boring meetings.
Mhm.
Somehow I prefer boring meetings.
Yeah, I just like to
Yeah.
do what I need to do, and get it over with. There we go again. I don't know why that didn't open up. Should have opened up. Doo-doo, cemetery. Come on, here we go. Hard to believe, but I got it back. So,
Okay,
we are at recent burials, no sales, and so getting back to sales, there'll be these 10 lots will be purchased by, Bill Withacombe. Tomorrow, cause I'll have that deed written out, I'm gonna drive right down where he's detailing.
okay.
He's gonna write us a check. So lots. Do you want the numbers? You don't need to care about the numbers, right? There's just 10 lots in Road Glen
It'll
Cemetery.
be on the deed.
Yep, yep, okay.
It's in Rural Glen.
Yes, yep. So we had the old tattered flag replaced today.
Good.
Donated family donated it. I don't have their names because they didn't have the names when I picked it up. So I had to call, or Ed Blanchard's gonna call me, I forget who it was, but Ed Blanchard was kinda funny, cause I saw it on Facebook that this family ended up with a folded flag, didn't know what to do with it, and they wanted it to go to good use. And I saw that Ed jumped in, and after Dennis's funeral Monday, and the flag had gotten a little more tattered because I put it at half-mast, so it was really noticeable, and the bottom had torn, probably about an 8-inch piece that was flapping by itself. I did come up to look for, thought we had a flag in a closet, nobody knew. Well, it'll do.
So
And Bill Shea assured me last night when I spoke to him, he said, I wouldn't worry about it, he says, that was better than, cause I had said, man, I probably should have taken the damn thing down. He goes, oh no, tattered flag's better than no flag, and he's very military. So, in fact, he ended up getting the flag, and I picked it up this morning and went down and put it up. It looks nice, so it should last a while. It's a really heavy-duty flag.
Good, good.
So, and as soon as I find out the people, I'm gonna write a letter to thank them, you know, as a cemetery commissioner. I'm sure you will all be on board with that.
Absolutely.
So, do we have any old business? Do you have any paperwork?
No, I can't find it, don't worry about it. Don't sweat it, it's not worth the trouble to
Okay,
deal with.
well,
If it gets too old,
I know, I can't,
can't process it.
I've written off it wasn't that much. I'll just donate it, it's fine. The
Okay,
next
so-
batch, I will do better in terms of, next batch of Home Depot receipts, I'll do better in terms of keeping it,
Yep,
keeping
I
it
hear
straight
you.
and turning it in.
Okay, this is from the work for what?
for the
Oh,
signs.
for the sign, yeah, don't worry about it. The next, when I do it again,
This is for the signs?
yeah, for
Mm.
the Lovewell.
Yeah, oh, just Lovewell.
Evergreen and Lovewell, I don't think I.
Just
turned-
Evergreen and Lovewell.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see what we do.
Didn't you get some stone for setting some stones?
I got some stone. I did not get a receipt for it. It was small change.
It was like $15, I think, is
Yeah.
what the.
Well, it's something that, you know, you
Yeah.
should keep track of. We shouldn't have to pay
I
out
know.
of pocket.
We
We do have a little bit of something for all the cemeteries to pay for that.
I
Stone was
will-
for what?
When I'm leveling headstones, I need stone to put underneath to
But
give it a more stable
what
base.
specific work? that you
It's
appro-
for all of them. It's for leveling stones, for leveling headstones.
Just a supply of
Yes.
3/4 crushed stone,
crushed stone.
yeah, 3/4 crushed stone.
Yeah, we had some for a while,
We used it up,
and we used it up, yeah.
because a lot of headstones.
Yeah.
And more yet to go.
So, let's see, continuation of headstones uprighting. We'll have to look at Warren,
Mhm.
See what happened.
yeah.
Do you need me to, do you need, more cement and epoxy and stuff?
Let
'Cause-
me check on what I have.
Okay, cause Atlas Preservation, yeah, you should probably, I get the Atlas Preservation sales. He periodically puts things on sale. You should probably go to Atlas Preservation and sign up so that you get emails being told when they have, you know,
Sales for
bulbs
the
on
epoxy and
sale,
stuff.
epoxies on sale.
Yeah, I picked up a gallon of the enzymatic cleaner from them. I will bring the receipt when I get it.
Okay.
Bring
Yeah,
it
no,
in,
absolutely.
because you're not gonna get paid if you don't.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If I don't
No.
get paid, I'm willing to put that much
Yeah,
into
but
doing the job,
still.
but if I
Well,
can
you-
get paid,
But you
it's good.
shouldn't have to. I mean, this money to reimburse you for the
Yeah.
material.
Yeah,
It-
we should both be better about that.
Yep. I will
All
take
three
care
of
it.
us.
Yeah.
The three of us. So,
Okay.
anything, new business or anything that we haven't
Not that I could think of.
anticipated to talk about, or anything that, to bring up for the next meeting? It will be a little bit sooner.
Okay, I hope.
Yeah, no, we need to approve if Bonnie, you know, I would like to get her that done, put
Yep.
that to bed.
Yep.
And, I know the boys cleaned up the cemeteries pretty good with the branches and such. I get, for the shutter crew that Travis has, they were able to use bring the chipper down and cut some large branches. Somebody cut one down in Warren. I thought Rich Clapman had cut it. He says, no, it was already down. We chipped up what was left behind. So somebody, it was firewood, it was oak. But that's fine. I saw how big it was. And they're continuing on that. They've started mowing again. I did get a compliment, pass it on to us too, with cemetery. Started with Brookside and went into, Rural Glen, of how everything looks really nice. The mowing's going good. We got a little bit more grass that grew. That's something that I should discuss. Do you think we should do, I won't say fertilization, but lime goes a long way with taking the acidity, and there's a lot of acid in the ground down
There's
there.
a lot of pine trees, yeah, evergreen trees.
And
Evergreen cemetery, duh.
the former Agway, I forget what, somebody told me the name changed up in Gardner. We have an account. I'm assuming that it must have swapped over. To get some for Brookside, and Rural Glen, cause I know that they have the money, so that's not a problem. I'll figure out what we need to do, and I'll do it, I'll spread it.
If we wanna do that, we wanna do it soon, before the grass gets,
Established,
Yeah.
yeah, cause it'll burn. Maybe a little bit over to Evergreen too, that's good, we get some money for Evergreen to do that.
okay,
I can't give you a figure, but will somebody wanna make a motion that I can get
yes. we can-
probably a couple pallets, I would think. Rural Glen's pretty big.
Yes, I'll make a motion to get lime for,
Okay.
And I second.
yeah, ASAP.
Yep.
Before-
And how much?
How much?
2 pallets.
2 pallets?
2 pallets. Yeah, I don't know how
But
much comes on a
Up to 2
pallet.
pallets, you.
Yeah, up to 2
Up
pallets.
to 2 pallets, cause we might, you wanna get that soon.
Soon. Yep,
For all
I'll get
3?
that week. For all 3 cemeteries,
For
yeah.
all 3 of those cemeteries, which
Yeah.
need, some sweeping of their soil.
Because those are the visible cemeteries, especially
Those are
now
the
that the
big
fence
ones.
is down.
Yeah, I think it looks better with the fence down.
I agree, and you know what? I haven't had anybody complain.
Yes.
You got a lot,
After
you got
all
a
that-
compliment from me.
After all that flack, it's like no one is complaining at all.
I
That's
called,
good.
I called Sue Flag just to say, hey, you didn't even call me to tell me that you like the, it's finally down. About time. But, what was I gonna say? Oh, so, I got something we can talk about. In Evergreen, I have two families down there. I don't know if they're in competition or what. And it was brought to my attention by the mowers, who said, how should we handle this, because, I'm trying to think of who the name is, I could look through. But one of them, it's, they're flowers now go out almost to the road.
Mm.
At one point, they were behind the stone, which is not their property because people behind them own up to their stone, so I had them move that.
Is this in the ground flowers or
Oh, in the ground
pots?
flowers, no, all, in the ground flowers, so now
Okay.
it's
Planted flowers.
planted flowers, so now
Okay.
it looks like we got 2 shrines down there, cause there's another family that have gone out, but not a whole lot, but decided that they're gonna go on each side of this stone, which the mowers can't go through anymore, unless they run the flowers over. Cause that, when the headstones are placed with, the distance, when we, when somebody's gonna get a headstone, I tell them, if you own one lot, you can't get a 5-foot headstone to take up the whole lot.
Mhm.
There is an increment of things, so, Fanning Monuments, that's one thing good about them, when he'll call me and tell me, we got big, I says, no, if it's 2, they got 2, they can go 3'10" on a base. And the mowers will still fit through. Now, the mowers won't fit through on this other people's property. They said, what do you want us to do? I said, well, I could be a schmuck and say, just run a mower. But I
Maybe
won't do that.
contact the people and say, look, we.
I don't know who the other people are, I'll have to look up their name. One I do know, but she's very ornery. My solution, and I'd like to get a little backing on it, is reason she started all the flowers and put them all in there was because she was afraid somebody was gonna dig up her son, because there was people that were there that shouldn't have been there. So anyways, my theory is, I said, don't weed whack around them so you're not weed whacking the flowers. I'm sure they'll contact me and say, what's going on, how come we're not
Not mowing that section?
mowing that section?
Well, then don't mow that section. I think that honors
Not
their
gonna mow it.
flowers and, but at the
Because-
same time.
Well, I had trouble last year too. You try to get the little bit of grass that's right at the beginning of the flowers, and there goes the flowers.
Right, so,
And I'm
if-
over there picking up the flowers,
if they
putting them in my
care
pocket, so that I
that
don't.
much, they can get down there and they can, yeah, I would say yes, just tell them to sort of mow where it's safe to mow, where it's possible to mow, and
Yep.
and leave a buffer around, if there's a buffer of grass that grows up around it, well, yeah,
Do we have?
they can do
But
something.
the flowers are all within the lot.
The lot.
Oh, they're all within the lot.
They're all within the
But
lot.
the
They're not
almost,
going into
just about the
somebody
whole lot
else's.
is taken up by flowers now.
Okay,
Do we
then
have
that's
a
their
policy
problem.
on plants like this?
No, and we started putting together a list, and we should continue that.
Yeah.
I
Put that in.
like having flower plots there, I think that's pretty cool,
But they have to be contained to such a degree that they don't prevent the lawn mowing and other maintenance.
Well, the other thing was, which was kind of foolish, and he says, there's still a Christmas tree, and of course it keeps falling over. I says, well, it belongs in the trash.
a Christmas tree.
Yeah, they had a Christmas, fake artificial tree with the bulbs and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's worn out its welcome, we're in May, and the thing keeps falling over, and I said, I saw it the other day when I was down, and I said I was gonna pick it up, but you didn't empty the barrel yet, so I don't wanna chuck it in the woods, so you need to empty the barrel, pick it up, and throw it away.
Mhm.
Okay.
But I think we should continue
There's also.
putting together what are shrubs.
There's a possibility if somebody wants to put, this is an idea, if someone wants to put a bed of flowers on their plot, is possibly requiring them to get a little fence, and, because, around it, like something this tall.
I have some
that
people
you
that
could-
put brickwork and stuff.
Or something, some kind of buffer,
Makes
so
it
that
easy.
weed whacking
Goes
doesn't.
up to that point,
But-
that's
and,
it.
Yeah, a small
Yeah.
fence or a brickwork or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you need to do that, you need to put a buffer around it.
Well, that's something that we should continue on the list, to
Yeah.
hand out to people that buy new plots, and say this is our regulation, but we don't have that yet,
Okay.
we really don't, and they,
Can
you
I make a suggestion that on our next meeting, we take like 10 minutes and look at that list again and.
Yeah, and add to it.
And add to
Think
it.
of other things that you think would be practical.
Why don't we do that next time?
Because of the fact that, I
'Cause-
mean, I do it, but it's, if anybody wanted to challenge it,
Mhm.
such as headstones, I mean, I tell people right off the bat, this is the size headstone you can get.
Yep.
Go talk to Mike, he'll tell you.
Well, I think that's fair for people ought to have a handout.
And I tell them flowers, this is the width of your flowers in front of your headstone. That's it. Your headstone stops, your flowers stop, they don't go on, mowers go in between.
But they can continue it like long ways.
Well,
We need to have,
it's gonna be.
in the next meeting, a discussion so we can figure out something that is not overly restrictive and yet allows us to have a fairly standardized look and room
Correct.
for people to maintain.
And you know, up until this started, or happened, last year it happened, and prior to that, people would, you know, just, I didn't have to say anything to them, people got flowers and everything. People have asked about shrubs, I said, we frown on shrubs because the root system gets underneath the footing and pops it, and you
Pops
can
the
notice
stone.
some of the others on there. And
Yeah.
we don't trim bushes.
Yeah.
We wanna keep them maintained, because we've had, and you can walk through Brookside as a perfect example. I think there only a couple in rural Glen, who chainsaw right to the ground, because they got and the root system is, now how are we supposed to fix that? The roots are all underneath the thing, and then stone's cockeyed. So, but that was before us, I mean, they've been planted many, many, many years ago, but they've overgrown encapsulated the stones, you can't even see until you push some of them that are still like that down there, to see who the headstone belongs to. You might wanna think too, if we wanna replant some trees to replace the ones that are dying along rural Glen. Because we had one cut last year.
Yeah.
One that I was told we needed to try to get it pruned and trimmed because it had dead branches on it, which aren't good.
I would like to, if we're gonna make an appointment to go, for the three of us to go down and reset the evergreen sign, why don't we pop over to Rural Glen, which is right there, and take a look at these trees, and I feel like I can't make a decision unless I'm standing there.
Okay.
And getting
Yep.
information as to what's dying, what's dead, and what we could replace it with. And do we like the open space better, or do we want the shade? So why don't we combine those two,
Okay.
missions.
Sounds good, I agree with that.
Errands, missions, or,
So,
I got something to throw out. Find a Grave, the online Find a Grave, site.
okay,
I don't know how many of our stones, it's basically it's a database
Mhm.
with a picture of the stone for people. How many of our stones in our cemeteries are even on there, if any? I'm not sure. It's mostly volunteers who do that, but I think it might be something nice to kind of work at. Just take a shot photo of a stone, upload it. You know, it's just name, any dates, and a picture. It might be nice to, over time, this would be a long thing, and I don't wanna make it like something we have to beat ourselves with, you know?
Okay.
But over time, to slowly work through the cemeteries and get all the stones uploaded to Find a Grave. Cause, yeah, a lot of people now are using that for genealogical
Yes.
stuff.
And I say yes because somebody called me and said, I looked, and maybe it was Find a Grave, maybe there's another name too. Find a Grave didn't ring a bell, but, I'm looking for genealogy stuff.
But if
And
we.
I looked on the page and I couldn't find a stone, but somebody told me it was there, and I don't know, I'm not familiar with it, so, but no, that would be good, as long as I don't have to put the cemetery plot number on there for this.
No, it's just.
Probably just gonna have a location stamp on each picture. That'll give them everything they need.
That's true. No,
But
that'd be.
it's something to slowly work
Yeah.
towards. Cause people will call you and they'll be like, I wanna find my great uncle so-and-so.
Oh,
grave
I've
and
done
I'm
that,
gonna be
and then
somewhere in Hubbardston.
And I take a picture of it and I email it to them.
Right.
So.
But if it was up on on an available database, then it would be like, it's there. Go look it up.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't even call you. Okay. Anything else?
So, I have nothing else. I think
Okay.
it would be a good idea to, like you said, think about things to continue and finally, and get it on our website,
Yeah, I
for the
think-
town, because I know people have said you don't have anything on there, just phone numbers,
Town website.
so.
Yeah.
I mean, Gary Kangas is the one that has put pictures. I mean, I believe he was the one. That needs to be updated because the fence is no longer there in front of Rural Glen. Photo gallery. These are all from Gary. I mean,
Yes, we
this
did.
picture, the fence doesn't look too bad.
I would suggest waiting a month or so before we take any new pictures, cause it's prettier in the summertime. Right now it's kind of, yeah.
These were taken
mud,
in the
bare
fall.
trees. You know, summer or fall, we can get, but it might be
I
nice
think
to go
it-
around to all 12 and take photos of
I
them.
think he took these because they needed to furnish some pictures for when it was going on the historical register.
Mhm.
Well, it might be
That's how
nice
they
to,
ended up.
this summer and or fall, just get, you know, a couple of photos of, a photo of each, maybe
Only three.
one of each of them, of the 12 cemeteries, and maybe one
There
grave
should,
in
yes,
each one.
there should be a picture of each cemetery, I agree on that,
And
because
like
there's
the
an
prettiest
interesting,
grave in each one.
there's an interesting cemetery down on Route 62.
Flag?
And it's called Route 62 Cemetery,
Yeah.
that's it. But it's started with a family cemetery, and
Yeah, it's the
there's
flags.
actually
Yeah.
a stone in the back that's that's shaped like
The
a
pyramid.
mini pyramid.
Yeah, the mini pyramid, so that would
Which
be.
is kinda cool, and then
Like
there's
the
the one
coolest
that-
thing in each cemetery, like I vote for Rural Glen being that lovely one for the little girl with all the flowers on it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I mean, but it should, but, what was the other one? What is it, Mile Road?
Yes,
Family.
when you have to go through Barry.
Barry to get, and then come back.
yeah.
And, funny story, Bob, I was always driving when I was going with this Bob Brady when we were mowing, and he says, come on, we gotta go down to this Hardy Cemetery. It's a old family cemetery and everything else, so he takes me down the road. I says, well, there it is there. He goes, oh, you get to turn around down there. So you go down the road and it gets like this, more and more narrow. There's a little opening in a stone wall. And he says,
Mhm.
oh, just back the truck up, back the trailer up, and then turn around and we'll just park in the road. Awful turning around. Then I find out the last time I went down there, I was just going in there to do some cleanup real quick. So I parked in the people's driveway, and there was this kid outside, and I didn't recognize him, which I should have. And I said, just leave. Oh, no, that's fine. His father comes out a little while later when I'm getting ready to leave. Then the mother comes out. It's like, well, home week. These people I've known since my kids were in grammar school, and I didn't know they live right next to the cemetery. Can't you tell? That's why we talked about the house. There's no windows on this side facing the cemetery when they built the house. Oh, park here anytime. I says, oh, yeah, now that I'm not doing it anymore. But it was funny, and actually it's Rich Clapman's sister-in-law. It's his wife's sister that I know so well. It's just so funny. I says, you did this on purpose, making me get stuck and almost put the thing up over the stone wall. Anyways, I take a picture of the cemeteries,
Yeah, later when they're prettier.
yeah.
But yes.
No, that would be a good thing to
That'd
put
be a
on
good thing.
here, and
Alright,
I have nothing else.
me either, sounds
We'll
good.
make a motion to adjourn.
Seconded?
We'll adjourn at